Hello, ladies out there. Um, Thanks so much for joining as we look for people to start joining in. Uh, Man, I feel like I have to sigh. It's been a really busy day. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about or let you guys know that I've been doing is this black and it's backwards, but this black and red shirt. I have started volunteering for Girls Incorporated here in Shasta County. And make sure if you log on, say hi. I'm using my phone today, hoping that I will be able to see the people on here and be able to communicate with all of you. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll just keep going here. But I've been able to start volunteering as a facilitator for Girls Incorporated, and what that is that we go into the schools and I facilitate a girls group. So the group that I do is middle-aged girls, and not middle-aged, middle school girls. And so I've been starting doing that, and I'm really loving that. So if any of you are interested in volunteering some time to lead like a girls empowerment group, my topic for this next few months until April is oh man, now I totally forgot it. Hey Ronica, I can see your heart, so it's working. That's good. Oh, it's like outdoors activity stuff. So it's really cool. We're going to do this outing at the end. And so I meet with the girls at lunchtime, and it's really great. But other than that, I wanted to get on today and really talk about, last week we talked about like emotional addiction. And make sure if you're logging on, make sure you say hi so I can say hi to you. I'd love to see you because I'm actually using my phone tonight, and so I can see the thumbs up and the hearts and the comments. So hopefully we'll get quite a few people joining like we did last week, which was totally awesome. But we talked about emotional addiction last week, and what I was wondering, and even if you're not watching live and you watch the recording later on, what I would love to see in the comments section is, did any of you have an increased awareness about some kind of emotional addiction that is causing you to do a behavior that you don't really want to be doing? So, because not only are these sessions, these Truth Serum Tuesdays, really meant to help you be inspired and empower you to start being able to live authentically, whatever that means to you. But hey Jennifer, but what they are meant to do is to help you take these actions, these small steps, because, taking the small steps is what it's really all about. It's really about these daily activities, right, that we do every single day. So I'm wondering, for those of you that watched the video or were live in the video last week, the Truth Serum Tuesday about emotional addiction, and you can give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever and let me know, how many of you were able to notice and pay attention to those times when you were acting out of an emotional addiction or behavior that really wasn't helping you, that you found like, oh, this is why I'm doing that, and you were able to make some kind of small shift in your awareness. Awareness can be really exhausting, and it also can be really rewarding. So once you get used to it, it's kind of like a muscle that we don't flex. Once I get used to having an awareness, then it doesn't seem like it takes so much energy. But maybe sometimes in the beginning it feels like it does. But keep going, because it's totally worth it. So when you felt those, or if you notice that emotional addiction that's making you have a habitual behavior that you don't want, what was that like for you? And then were you able to take steps in that? So make sure you say hi. It looks like there's a little bit of a delay, but I see that Jennifer said hi. I saw Veronica had the hearts and the thumbs up. So make sure at any point in time, hey Deb, that something rings really true with you, or like you're picking up what I'm putting down, so to speak. Make sure to put those thumbs up and those hearts, because I love it to see those, to know that you're getting and you're understanding and it's meaning something to you, because these things these True Serum Tuesdays aren't just for me to honestly like sit here and I can see myself and I watch myself and I see your comments. No, they're not for me to be able to watch myself. What they are for is I want to be inspiring and empowering women wherever you are all over the world so that you can have this life that you want to be living. If you haven't watched last week True Serum Tuesday on emotional addiction, please go back and look at it. Comment on the sections because on the comment in the comments section when something rings true with you, because then I see those also and I really know what is interesting to everyone. So at the end of this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you can receive some support from me and what we're talking about today. So we're going to continue along the same kind of lines as we did last week. And the topic this week is when yes often ends up meaning no. So this isn't when you say yes and you actually mean no. So that's not what this topic is about. What this topic is about is when I say yes to something, oftentimes I need to say no to something else. So how many of you get that? How many of you have felt like you say yes, 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 and you don't say no to anything else, and then you end up being overwhelmed? How many of you have ever felt that? Give me thumbs up and hearts if you have. How many of you have ever felt like when you keep saying yes to everybody else, it means that you end up saying no to what you need? So I see Deb gets that. Ronica puts thumbs up. Oh, Jennifer gets that. Because what happens is we begin this self-sacrificing behavior. And that's honestly another kind of behavior that then equals like this emotional addiction of always giving, giving, giving. And, you know, we've talked in other True Serum Tuesdays about being able to receive, you know, really this art of receiving. So when we continuously say yes to things, even if they're things that we feel are self-care things. So how many of you have ever felt guilty about doing self-care? And so when I'm talking about self-care, some people say it's a massage. Some people say it's like a material thing, kind of like a physical thing. And you feel bad because you felt like you were really taking care of yourself. You're taking a moment. But how often when we say yes, we're agreeing to give that up. Because then we don't curtail it or we don't balance it out with saying no to something else. So I, like I said earlier, like I'm volunteering with Girls Incorporated. I'm a facilitator. I lead girls empowerment groups in schools. And right now I'm at a school with middle school girls. And when I said yes to that, to give my time, to give my skill and my talent, and to help empower these young women, I needed to say no to something else. So another example is if you keep saying, oh, let's just say you do it with family. So how many of you do this with family? Yes, I'll watch the grandkids. Yes, I'll watch this. I'll do that too. And I'll make sure to pick them up from school and, you know, all those things. And then we end up saying, whatever happened, I'm tired. I have no energy. Now I'm grouchy. You know, you end up having these things that really are damaging to you. So sometimes we agree to do that by not having maybe an ability to say no to something else. So that kind of leads to why we hesitate to say no to something else. So how many of you, push in the comments below yes, or tell me a topic in which you really feel like you do this in. So let me get my thoughts because I just got distracted. I don't even know what I got distracted about, but this is real authentic, right? This is live. So maybe I don't say no to something else because I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on something. Well, if I say no, then I won't get this praise from this other person. So when I said yes, I needed to say no to doing something else. Because I can't I refuse now to spread my energy so thin. I want to be able to live in my life and be present in my life. So Jennifer says guilt. Yeah, So you don't say no out of guilt. So then you just take on more and more and more and more and more, right? And then people are like, you can handle it. Give it to Jennifer, or volunteer Jennifer. She'll handle it. I mean, I see Jennifer all those times needing to be good enough. Yeah, that whole comparison thing, right? That whole comparison thing of like, oh, well, they're doing it. Maybe they'll think something about me that's different. And this is one of those reasons why I constantly encourage all of you women to go back within. Go back within, because when your strength is from within, I don't need to compare myself. I don't need to necessarily worry about whether people think that I'm good enough or I'm not. Maybe some of you experience times, I mean, I am a therapist and an integrative life empowerment coach, and I'm good at what I do. I don't feel guilty if I can't help everyone. I don't really have much room for not feeling like I'm good enough, because I'm not concerned about what other people are doing. I'm more concerned about what I'm doing, how I'm living my life, and how I am interacting with other people around me. I don't have time to concern myself. I choose not to concern myself all the time. It doesn't mean that I'm not respectful to myself and to other people. It's not what that means. And it doesn't mean I'm totally selfish. Hey, Dawn. What it does mean is that I have these boundaries that allow me to live the life I want to be living every day. And that's really what helps benefit other people more than if I spread myself so thin. So we don't say no because of guilt. We don't say no because we are needing to have external triggers, external motivation to make me feel like I'm good enough. That was last week. An emotional addiction to my environment that makes me feel good. And the week before. So all 3 weeks are kind of like in a row. Deb's like balance. Deb, tell me a little more about balance. What kind of balance are you talking about? Because I'd love to hear more about that. So Albert Einstein, and if you have heard this quote before, please thumbs up and hearts. Said that no problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. So let me read it again. No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. Because then that's like, oh, you just keep going in circles and circles and circles. And then, some people say that's insanity, right? So you have to have a mindset shift. You have to be willing to create an awareness around your perception. The only way that we're able to do that is if we are present. I talked to a lot of women. In fact, I talked to a young woman the other day, and we talked about when we get to doing all of these things, it distracts us from really feeling our body, what our body feels. So if I stay distracted, then I don't feel so ill. Or if I stay doing things, then I don't feel like my body is run down, right? But then when you stop, you actually feel how much your body's run down. So how many of you have felt that? You go, 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 go. And then when you take time off from work, this happened to me, you get sick. And then you're sick the whole entire time until it's time to go back to work again. How many of you have done that? How many of you have had that happen to you? Deb says, don't let things pull you when it's not right or too much. Balance and boundaries. Yes. So we don't say no because of fear, of guilt, of missing out on something. Jennifer says often. Yeah. And we feel like if we slow down, something's gonna happen. Well, I'm here to tell you, I had thoughts about, and Dawn knows this. She's known my dreams for forever. We've worked together. She is one of my best friends. And I thought, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I have to work another full-time job. Oh, and I have to have this. And well, guess what? I'm doing it now. And guess what? I make plenty of money. That's like people tell you, and I don't know, Jennifer, if people told you this, or if you heard this when you first got into therapeutic work, but if you plan on being a therapist, don't plan on making any money. Well, I plan on making money. That's why I became a therapist, because then I can make money and do what I love all at the same time. And now as an integrative life empowerment coach working solely with women, I get to even do more of that, right? And I get to make even more money. Now, for me, it's not all about money, but what it is about an ability to have an impact the way I want to impact. So I want to talk a little bit about how your vision, or a vision you have of an area in your life, can become a roadmap for you to have more clarity in discernment and decision making on when you say yes and when you say no. So how your vision, so when I think of a vision for me, or according to the dictionary online, Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia. A vision is an experience of seeing someone or something in a dream or trance, or as a supernatural apparition. So a vision for me absolutely includes a supernatural element to it. And whether that's your God, the universe, your spiritualistic kind of person, that is important for me to have when I am living life. It is essential to me and essential to my being to have a spiritual awareness and belief system. Now, that's not essential for everybody. So, it can be different things for different people. But the reason I love creating a vision is because it also reaches all of my senses. It tells my mind, I can use my mind and discernment of what really I want this vision to look like. How I'm going to get that done. Hey, Dawn. Hey, everyone give Dawn thumbs up. I think this is our first time on here. Say hi to Dawn, everyone. Make her feel welcome. So my vision, my mind helps me, and then I get to picture it, right? So then I use a whole nother part of my mind to develop a picture of what that looks like. And then I get to use my body to fully feel what it is like to live that vision every single day. So I have my mind, my body, and my spirit all included in my vision. And that's part of this integration part for me. This integration theory for me in the practice that I do and how I run and how I help other people is when the mind, the body, and the spirit are all aligned, you are able to truly live authentically to yourself without environmental impact, so to speak, without relying on other people to make you feel happy. As long as you do this, then I'm going to feel happy. As long as my partner washes the dishes every day, then I'm going to feel okay. I don't want to do that. I want to be okay whether the dishes are washed or whether they're not. And that's not even anything that's real. It's just an example. So, but do you get what I'm saying? The vision incorporates the mind, the body, and the spirit for me. So then I looked up the word goal, because I kind of like this comparison thing about these two. So listen to the difference of the definition of a goal. The goal is the object of a person's ambition or effort for a desired result. So when I have a goal, I feel like I set the goal and I do everything to reach the goal. It's an end result. My vision is something I practice daily. It's something I live by. It determines my decisions. It gives me discernment. If I have a vision of living a certain life, I can drop from the conscious to the subconscious to the conscious to the subconscious because I'm accessing all of those things in my mind, my body, and my spirit, right? A goal, I think that people can do the same thing. But for me, it's very different for me. You have a vision and then you have incremental steps. Or, as someone said to me, then you make little goals to see that you're doing your vision. So that's what the Vision Roadmap Workshop is all about. So what I'm talking about here is creating this vision and then using the mind, the body, and the spirit to access the subconscious and the conscious and indefinitely change behaviors, because that's what you're able to do. So how many of you get that kind of like the difference that I'm trying to get between the vision and the goal? And put in the comments which word really speaks to you. which do you operate most by a vision, or do you operate most by a goal? So tell me those two. Which one do you operate most by? For me, it's vision. It's a constant, fluid, flexible kind of thing. In the past too, with a goal, if I haven't reached a goal, I would demean myself. How many of you have ever done that? So a couple of True Serums ago, I talked about being like 30 pounds overweight. Well, I don't need to demean myself if I'm not constantly losing weight, right? I don't need to say I've failed. And for me, that's really important. I want to be in this space where I can be still compassionate and kind to myself. So that's a little bit. So it's kind of like a fluid space. So this vision provides you an ability to have increased discernment. So tell me, or I am wondering, what some of you have a vision for your life. So maybe someone has a vision to travel. Maybe someone has a vision to be debt free. Maybe someone has a vision. For me, it's like this vision of just living with ease and contentment. So Jennifer says, operate by goals, but need a vision and have goals that support that vision. So you're the second person that said that to me, Jennifer. You're the second person that's like, okay, the bigger picture, and then we work backwards, right? So the three things I told you in the little blurb for the True Serum Tuesday, the three things that you can begin doing. So how many of you have heard, I know some of you have heard this, so thumbs up or hearts or push yes in the comments, that it takes focus to develop the awareness. Live simply and be content, Ronica says. That's awesome. Live simply. Yeah, too many things. So the first thing we need to do is create an awareness. We need to develop and begin to focus and develop an awareness of how you want to be and interact with others around you. This is the vision part. When I envision working with my clients, I literally can feel the success of their enlightenment, the success of I can see the smiles on their face from what I've seen before. I can picture the woman that I'm working with in front of me really having this release, this taking kind of like this backpack off all that burden of feeling like she should be doing what other people are expecting her to do, to realize that that doesn't make her worthy. I mean, when you watch that, that is the most rewarding thing in the whole wide world. I had a woman the other day, and I told her, I said, love isn't always determined by what people do for you. And so we were talking about it in a context of relationships. Like, if my partner does this, then I'm going to be happy. As long as they can sustain it, then I'm going to be happy. And it almost hit her, it hit her like a ton of bricks. And she's like, I don't get it. That's what I've done my whole entire life. I do something for someone and that means that I love them. But there are multiple ways of showing love, right? So Deb says goal-oriented, but vision's much more spiritual and whole feeling. Yes. So good. So this is making sense. So it's creating an awareness and focusing on how I want to be interacting in any moment at any time. And then when I start focusing and developing this muscle of awareness, then it takes less energy. But in the beginning, it does take energy and it does take effort. And the reason that those things are so important to me is because of my vision. If I'm trying to determine if I need to have or put energy towards a certain reaction, I ask myself, is this supportive of my vision? Is this going to allow me to live this vision I have for my life every single day in every moment? Now, I'm human just as much as anyone else. So there's no way I'm perfect. And with that being said, I've worked really hard on creating awareness, right? So then your awareness creates different behaviors, because then you're actually like, oh, I'm tuned into my body. I'm tuned into the reaction my body's having. I'm tuned into my mental reaction, like, oh my gosh, maybe how can that person say that? That makes me so mad. Feel the madness in my body. Think about what that does for me in a spiritual realm. And then I think, how do I want to be right now? So how I want to be is, I want to know that this person is seeking compassion from me. Or I want to be respectful in my response back to them. So do you see how the vision of how I want to be, if I focus on how I want to be interacting in the world, how I want to be in the world, when I develop that awareness creates a different behavior. So you develop the awareness and then you take action on the awareness, right? So one, develop an awareness and focus, take action. So when you take action and say no, you are fully aware of why you are saying no. Not because you can't. It's because you choose something different to support your vision. This isn't a selfish thing. So I'm not talking about it in a selfish way. What I'm talking about, that if my child needs something from me, and I'm going to go to the PTA, and then I'm going to go to this concert, and then I'm going to go to the football game, and then I'm going to go to this other fundraiser, and then I'm going to go home with my child, and I'm going to say no to my child and not to one of these other things, when I really want to be able to be present, because I miss out things on my child, or I want to be there to be, that's how you define maybe being a good parent or whatever, our ability to continue to be busy and then miss out on what we really want. So to say no, it doesn't mean that you miss out, or you're not going to be good enough, or people aren't going to see you as being the mom or the PTA mom that everyone else is and going to every event. What you can know is that the time spent with your child is so valuable, because your child gets you, right? And when they get you and you're fully present, it's so powerful beyond words, right? So you can do this with anything. You don't have to have a child. You can do this with your job. You can do this with your partner. You can do this with your grandchildren. You can do this with a friend. Right? So focus and develop awareness. Make behavior changes with your awareness. You're going to focus on the vision. Decide whether or not it supports your vision. If it doesn't support your vision, you say no, because the vision is powerful. And then you are creating a different reality. So the third thing is the best part, is that then you begin creating the reality in which you want to be living. You get to create it. It's not dependent on what other people are doing. You create it. I have created, through a lot of hard work and through continued hard work, the life I live right now. I have been blessed beyond measure. I have experienced abundance from ways I never knew I could experience abundance. Was it difficult? Yeah. Did I have to say no to a lot of things and a lot of people? Yes. Are some people not very happy when I say no? Yes. But when I'm here and I'm in this space, my ability to be present and to make the impact I want to make is so much stronger. So how many of you can get that? So thumbs up or hearts if you're really getting what I'm talking about. So when I do that, when I make these decisions, I'm not reactionary. I'm not like, oh, do this, oh, go that, da-da-da, right? My mind is calm. And so when my mind remains calm, that's what I need if we're going to be able to exercise my intelligence. When I'm constantly reactionary, I can't be reactionary and intelligent. I don't want to say all at the same time. So I don't want to say that. But what I want to say is, when I'm in reactionary mode, I think less intelligently because I'm reacting. I don't have a full thought process. So that's good when there's an emergency. It's good when there's a crisis. Perfect. That's what you need. But when you do that every single day, you lose the ability to then say da 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 da. So there's a lot of things lately that say slow down, do less. So it's almost like when you say yes, you choose no, so that you can be fully aware. And it's all about you then, and not in a selfish way, but it's all about how you make yourself the best for other people. Okay, so I would like to know, hopefully, and I don't know if the comments are not refreshing or whatever, but I would like to know in one way that you would like to use the information that we talked about tonight over the next week until the next Truth Serum Tuesday. So, in what ways do you want to use it in a relationship with, somebody else? Do you want to use it as far as your work? Do you want to be able to slow down? Hey, Monica, do you want to be able to slow down and really focus? Because when you're reacting, when we have all these things that we're focusing on, I would challenge you that you're not really good at any of them. If I have all these things in my practice I want to do, which my ADD brain creates all the time, I have all of these ideas, I have all of this stimulation. But if I do all of those, I don't do anything really well. That's why I love the True Serum Tuesday. I feel like I get to connect with you, and I feel like I do this really well. So I focus on this every week, and I'm here no matter what. So the reaction time, this busyness, keeps us from being and doing what we really want to be being and doing as a person, not as what you do like as a therapist, but like being and doing how you want to be living. Okay, so when your mind remains calm, you can do that because you're not in reactionary mode. So Jennifer says, too many choices. Yes. 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 It's kind of like, how many of you have taken a break from Facebook? And then you're like, I wonder what people are posting about. And it's almost like you have to check because you think you might be missing out on something. Well, if you say no to Facebook, it allows you to have a mind that is not so busy. And when you have a mind that is not so busy, maybe, you can create something that is really important. We miss out because of that kind of addiction. I'm guilty of it too. There's times when I don't look, or there's times when I won't comment when people are expecting me to comment. Okay, well, I have to slow the brain down, especially me with ADD. That's just how it goes. So I heard from Jennifer. Well, on Jennifer, she says too many choices, but I want to know how you guys on here, how all of you brilliant women want to implement this theory of when you say yes, what you really are doing is going to say no to something else. So you're not in constant survival, not in constant action. Okay, so I have a couple quotes at the end, and I'll read these while you guys are commenting. So this is interesting. When we say no, we fear we're going to miss out. We think we're going to miss something. In my email box, one of my email boxes, there's 3,000 emails. And I thought, I should just delete them all because, if I've missed it now and I've lived without it this long, then I don't really know what I need to do about it. It's kind of like when you have boxes that have been packed up for 5 years. You've never looked at it. You've never done anything with that. Like, why do you need it? You haven't done anything with it. It hasn't triggered you, right? So you have to have faith and trust in yourself when you make these choices. And the way that you develop that stronger and stronger and stronger is by doing it. So let me read this quote to you. Faith isn't something you have. Okay, so you got this? Faith isn't something you have as much as it is something you do. And if you do it consistently, the clearing, the focusing, and the nourishing. I love that word nourishing, right? The nourishing, the getting back on track. Then you become the very lightness you long for. When I say no, I make room for more nourishing, for more focus, for more energy, for that freedom, that release, that lightness in which I can live with contentment and joy. When I have a vision and it shows me the path I need to take, right? The vision plus strategies shows me the path, limits the amount of decisions I need to be making. limits the confusion of which decision I need to be making. If it doesn't solely support my vision, I don't do it. And if I do it and I'm like, oh, this really isn't working, then I create that awareness. I have an awareness about that and I change the behavior. But releasing that fear, moving through that fear that I'm going to miss out. If I don't take this call from this client, are they going to not come to me anymore? If I don't answer this email for this potential coaching client, does that mean they won't ever look me up again? Well, I don't know. But when I know that I'm in scarcity, I only feel scarcity. I no longer feel abundance and blessing beyond measure. So I want to stay in abundance and blessing with faith and trusting, right? With faith and trusting that my divine self ultimately knows what is the best for me, no matter what anyone says, no matter what my environment is telling me. So Jennifer says, focus, saying no to adding more activities to do and saying yes to spending time, that time with purpose with my kids. So important. Bam. That's what Jennifer's going to do. I don't see what anyone else is going to do. Let's not leave Jennifer out there hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Tell me what you want to do with this information over this next week. Make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to reduce the input and decide to take action on something that supports your ultimate vision. If you don't have a vision, well, there's ways to develop that. And there's ways to find that out. And for those of you that are local, what I'm offering on February 16th is a vision roadmap workshop where you develop a vision. We do a vision board, and we don't just do this conceptual thing out here like, oh, that's great. I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to be like this. Then we actually implement the strategies so that you can feel successful over the next 60 days. And success isn't determined necessarily about what you do and you don't do. What it is developing an awareness about what you want and what you don't want. Because when you develop that awareness, you automatically, your subconscious, as long as you can go from the conscious to the subconscious and you're not always doing, if you can sit and feel in the body, if you can picture and feel like it's happening right now, then you get all of the senses to go into the subconscious and start changing the behavior foundationally, rewiring the brain, right? So February 16th, it's going to be up and ready. Jennifer asked, how local do I need to be? Local. Here in Reading. It's going to take place. I'm going to do it at my office. It's the second one I've done. And I'm really excited about it because women have been specifically asking for me to do another one. The cost is $97, and the time is going to be from 6 to 9 on February 16th. So the cart is open for that. I'll attach the, let me see, I got my computer right here. Let me look up the web address for it. So I know that it's www.rachelfreemansowers.com. Okay, here it is. So yes, that is the whole name. Rachel Freeman Sowers, RachelFreemansowers, /2017-vision-roadmap. So www.rachelfreemansowers.com/2017-vision-roadmap. That's going to give you some more details. It's the last event was really successful. Women walked away on that website. You can also see some of the comments that the women had about the past workshop. And also going to post some of the vision boards that came out of that workshop. So look for those in the email. If you're not on my mailing list, sign up from my website, the www.rachelfreemansowers.com. Go into the mailing list so that you can get their most recent events. Jennifer, I've had a lot of women ask me for a virtual workshop. So that might be coming in the future. So stay tuned for that. So that's how I can support you. Go to that website, see it. If you think it fits for you, great. If you think that it doesn't, that's totally fine too. But I want to make sure that I set it on here. The cart's open for that. Oh, $97. That's how much it is. Oh, hey, Joelle. Joelle was there. She said it was awesome. Joelle, tell me what was awesome about it really quick. And then I have another quote. So this is the ending quote when Joelle's typing in what was so awesome about it. Contradicting yourself. Hey, Erica. Here's the ending quote. Erica, you missed it. I missed you on here. I'm so glad you're on here right now. So here's the Danielle Laporte quote for the night. Contradicting yourself is a part of evolving. So think about this, how it applies to creating focus and developing awareness, to changing behavior, to living the reality that you want to be living, the life that you want to be living authentic to you. How does all that relate to contradicting yourself is a part of evolving? We are constantly seeing, is this how I want to be? I contradict what I'm doing. Is this fit with my vision? Does this fit with how I want to be spending and interacting with the people I love and appreciate? Right? Think about that. This contradicting yourself is a part of evolving. If I say something on here that's contradicted something else, I love that, because then I'm like, what really is my truth? Right? Joelle said from the last workshop, spending time for myself and sharing with others. Oh, that's what you like the best. Awesome. Hey, Ashley, nice to have you. Make sure you go back and watch the rest. So if those of you that have joined us, go back and watch the rest. Comment, because all of us want to know how you are finding this information, how we get to know that other people other than us have the same thoughts, right? That's so important, so that we can create this community of women on here. So go check it out if you haven't registered already. If you're interested in the 2017 Vision Roadmap workshop that's happening on February 16th from 6 to 9, would love to have you. There's very limited spots. So there's already 3 taken up of the 8 spots that I have. So make sure if you want to do that you can. I will watch the rest for sure. I signed up for the next workshop. Woo, woo! Ha ha! Erica, it's going to be good. I'm just saying. It was good because Joelle and a lot of other people were there. Okay, so remember, contradicting yourself is part of evolving. We need this. We need to create that awareness, right? So that when you say yes, you can also create freedom and clarity and additional energy when you say no. All right? So those are the 3 things. I love you all. I'm so excited that I could see the comments. I'm so excited that I could see the thumbs up and the hearts. Please make sure if someone has said a comment that you push the thumbs up next to the comment, because we all love to know that people are paying attention and really enjoying what we're encouraging each other to do here on this site. If you have other friends that might be interested in enjoying this authentic feminine life, please make sure to tell them. Share about True Serum Tuesday if it's something that inspires and empowers you, so we can get more women. We now have 155 women in this group, and so that's kick-ass. It's awesome. So please, please, please make sure to share. Deb says, this week I need to gather info and check my spiritual gut on how I get involved in the resistance without becoming overwhelmed with the situation discernment. Yes. Tap into the body, tap into the mind, tap into the spirit, right? That'll get you there, and it will help you do those exact same things you want to do. All right, so I love you all, and I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And for those of you who want to be a part of the 2017 Vision Roadmap Workshop, go check it out. I'll post the link in the group right after this. So I love you. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.